Hey, Catherine, here's a quick rundown. Don't worry about number 57. We didn't do completing the square where we had an A term like that, so don't worry about that. But 56, this one's actually, they already moved the 13 over, essentially, is how you're thinking of it. So plus what and plus what. You don't need to move the 13 back and then move it back over again. So you're going to do half of your B term and square it. So negative 5 squared is 25. So add that to both sides, and then this is a perfect square trinomial. Square root the x squared, you get x. Square root the 25, you get 5. And then it's subtraction, so subtract them. And then this would be, what is that, 38. Okay, now if you square root both sides, you get x minus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of 38. And then from here, we can add 5 to both sides. So you get x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of 38. There's nothing that you can divide, no perfect square that you can divide out of 38. So that is your final answer. Okay, and then 82 says solve each equation. Okay, so I have this set up here. I moved everything this way because we don't want a negative out in front of our leading coefficient right here. So we're gonna add the x squared, subtract the 4x, and then it's plus 10. If you try to factor it, it's what can you multiply to get 10 that you can add to get negative 4. 10 and 1, 5 and 2, neither one of those get us there, so we can't factor it. So what I would do is I would say quadratic formula, x equals a negative b, so 4 plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 10 over 2 times 1. And then simplify that, you get x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of, this is 16 minus 40. So you get negative 24 there over 2. Okay, this we're going to simplify. We can take out the square root. I would do square root of negative 4 times the square root of 6. This is 2i, right? So it's 4 plus or minus 2i rad 6 over 2. And then simplify that again. You get 4 over 2 is 2, plus or minus 2 over 2 is 1. So this would just be I rad 6, and that would be your answer. Okay, so if it doesn't factor, when it says just solve and it doesn't tell you how, you would just walk through the ways you can do it. You can't square root that because there's an x term. If you can't factor it and you can't square root it, typically my next one is to jump to, can I do the quadratic formula? So, and you can, and that would be your answer.